Welcome to Tinkering Every Day. I'm Jesse. Welcome back to the Tinkering Garage. And today I'm going to show you how to change the trimmer line on a gas weed trimmer. And how kind of to use one, how to feed the line, and proper things on operating a gas weed trimmer. Let's go ahead and check it out. Alright, here we have our gas weed trimmer and our trimmer line. All you really need to do this job is some scissors, some wire cutters, just anything that you can find that would cut this kind of trimmer line. I mean, it doesn't take much. But those are all tools required. Let's go ahead and I'll set this camera down and show you how to do it. Alright, first things first, when you get a new gas trimmer, or if you're just new to the game and you're like you got an apartment and now you bought a house and you need to know how to trim your yard, and you're new to the whole thing, you gotta start with undoing this. Usually it's just hand tight. You either got a new trimmer or you're out of line. And then this assembly, so this just holds the whole spinning assembly on. Take that nut bump feeder off. It's also the impact point for your bump feeder. Now the way these get more line, the way you can let more line out, it's automatic line feeding if you don't know anything about these. So a bunch of line stores in here. This is a two line setup. And as you run out of line, you just bump the head of this thing down kind of hard, just real quick, sharp bump like that, and it'll automatically, the centrifugal force will feed more line out. So you don't have to worry about, redoing it every time your line gets short. So take that off, the whole assembly comes out. Now on the back of here, there are different holding locations for different size line, and it says right on there. So you got 0.65, 0.80, 0.95. Now we have 0.80 line. So you gotta make a note. So we need to use these points right here. So to get started, since this is a dual line setup, get the line out of here. Okay. You start with the line that's closest to the spring first. And then there's a point. There's a little hole right here, if you can see it. These holes here is where you lock your line into. So we'll slide it in that way, and then whichever way it kind of naturally curves, and that's this direction, you wind it that way. And try to do it kind of as evenly as possible. Because if you get it jammed, it's obviously gonna not feed correctly. Got a knot here, we're gonna have to sort that out. Untangled the knot. We'll just keep winding it up. Now on these, there's usually a little place that says do not wind past this point. This one doesn't, but I know that from experience. So this little inside retainer here, you don't want to wind past that. So I'll show you what that means. We do not want to protrude past this piece, so we're pretty much even with it now. So now that we got this line where we want it, you go back to your 0.80 notch, lock your line in, and that side's ready to go. So now we'll do the other side. So again, find your little hole that holds your line, locks your line in, wind it back around. Okay, we're getting close to our point there. Find your 0.80 hole again on this side, right there. Take your tool, you want to leave probably 4 or 5 inches. So, because you got to feed it through the trimmer head. So then cut your line. Put our spool back. All right, so this part can be kind of tricky. And if you've ever had problems before and don't really know how to do it, this is kind of a brush up video on how to do this right. The main thing people get wrong is the holding loop or holder. They don't know which way to turn it. So I showed you when you put it in there, it naturally wants to it feeds this way. You want to wind it that way, because this whole setup is very specific on direction, because when you bump feed it, if you got it the wrong way, backwards, it will not feed the line out, and you're jamming and you're taking this back off, and you can't figure out why it won't work properly. A lot of people do that. So, next part, you just feed one end out. There's a little hole in this trimmer head here. So you got that, and you just kind of hold it there. Take your other end and feed that one through the other hole on the opposite side. Now, it's another kind of tricky part. You got to get right, or it's not going to feed properly. So I can show you. There is. All right, now your holding loop, so your line is being held. Line that up with the hole that's coming straight out. You want them both straight, like that. And then just kind of twist it slightly and hold the line. And kind of, we got to find our, oh, there we go. We were just kind of stuck. So now, as you push down, it'll kind of set. And then see, this one's not, it's hard to see. This one's not letting go of the hold yet, so you kind of pull on it like that and gently turn this until it falls into place. You want it almost flat with the trimmer head like that. So now, give them a little tug just to make sure that they've let go of their holding bracket. Screw your bump feed nut back on. Voila. That's all there is to that. And I'll show you how to operate it. Okay, now I'll show you what you need to fill one of these up with gas. Most weed trimmers are 2-cycle, so you're going to need a gas-oil mix. So what I recommend is getting yourself a small gas can just for your 2-cycle oil and gasoline mix. So, and to take a Sharpie and write 2-cycle mix on it, that way in case anyone comes to borrow your weed eater, they know that's the specific gas for that machine and it's already pre-mixed, they just got to add it. They don't have a chance to mess up your mix by trying to do it themselves. But there's the 2-cycle oil. You don't have to get Poulon Pro. That's just what came with one of my weed eaters. Any 2-cycle mix should work. This one's 40-to-1, so that's 40 parts gas to 1 part oil. That's pretty big dilution. You don't need a ton. But you can refer to your owner's manual and your weed eater. It'll tell you, it should show you exactly what you got to mix, and sometimes it's on the oil bottle itself how you figure that ratio and how much you need to put in this size of gas can. So I'll go ahead and show you how to fill this thing up. Alright, take off our fuel cap. It says to turn it slowly, let the vapors escape. Take your pre-mixed gasoline. This can has a safety latch on it, so you have to push that down, and that will enable you to pull and release the safety lock, safety seal. Just going to hold it gently and pour very slowly, very gently. It doesn't take long at all to fill this up, or you have gas all over your workbench, and that's good there. Okay. Put your cap back on. Again, with anything tinkering top tip I've said with my videos, anything you have to thread, before you just go to town and screw something in on tight, screw it backwards first until you find it clicks. Like, we'll keep screwing that backwards. And right there, it clicked into place, and then it'll thread perfectly, because usually it'll just thread crooked, and then you'll try and tighten it down, and it'll just mess up your cap and strip your threads in the long run if you keep doing that. So yeah, always when you put something on, kind of thread it backwards until it drops into place, and then tighten it down. Okay. Okay, now for operating your weed eater, safety glasses and shoes are required. You don't want to be cutting up any toes or shooting any rocks into your eyes. All right, let me fire this thing up, show you how to use it, get it started. And there's directions on the side. It says prime it 10 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Move it to the 1 position. That's full choke. Give it a couple of pulls until it sounds like it's trying to fire up on you. Then once it sounds like it's trying to turn over, move it to number 2. And this one, the premix gas I have in here, the mixture kind of likes it to be at half throttle when it starts. So go ahead and hold half throttle and give it a pull. To turn off the weed eater, you just hold this button down, and that's the kill switch. And that's how you change the trimmer line and general operation of your gas-powered weed eater. Stay safe. Smash that like button if you like this video, comment, and subscribe. And remember to keep tinkering every day. Thanks for hanging out with me. That was the wrong order of things. And that's how you do general operation and general setup of a gas-powered weed trimmer. Welcome to Tinkering Every Day. I'm Jesse. Welcome back to the Tinkering Garage. And today I'm going to show you how to change the cord, wire, the crap that cuts up all the weeds. This is a good start.